What are you doing? Hey, get down. Come sit. Seriously. What are you doing? Just hang. Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Hello, and welcome to the Tiny Minutes podcast, my podcast about knitting, sewing, crochet, cross-stitch, and all manner of crafty goodness. My name is Laura, and I'm coming to you for the last time from High Level, Alberta, Canada, where I was living with my cat. Let me love you. See you. I am currently in the process of moving to Calgary very slowly. Half of my stuff went down south today, and the rest of it is going to be, I don't trust you there, kitty. The rest of it's going to be sent about mid-September. And yeah, it's a bit of a process. You can find me online as Tiny Minutes pretty much everywhere, on Ravelry, Instagram, YouTube obviously, and there's my Etsy shop as well under the same name. I also have a Ravelry group for the podcast under the Tiny Minutes podcast in the groups tab. I have links for everything listed down below, so if you want just a quick link to whatever social media you want to see, it will be down below. In the Ravelry group right now, we do have two knit-alongs going on. There is the Make From Stash Along, which is running from January 4th to January 4th of next year, and that is to knit something from your stash from yarn that was purchased before January 4th. And that's been going on really well. There's, I think, last time I checked, 856 projects finished, which is amazing. And I do have a prize draw for a prize today, because I said on my last podcast it had been a while since I had done one, so I'm going to be doing one today. I've drawn the winner already. I just did it, and that should be good to go. Another knit-along that's going on is the Not Rhinebeck knit-along, which is a Rhinebeck sweater knit-along. You have to knit it for yourself, and it's essentially what you would wear to Rhinebeck if you were able to go. It is running alongside, or in a coordination with, the Not Rhinebeck Yarn Festival, online yarn festival that is going on. There's also a link to all information for that in my Ravelry group, and there's a link to all of the people who are going to be involved, all the makers and yarn dyers, bag makers, pattern designers, and that's going to be in the group. So if you want any more information on that, there's going to be a link there as well. I'll link it down below. And so this knit-along is going on at the same, sort of along with the same lines. So if you make something for you have to make something for yourself. As I said, it has to be a sweater for yourself. And if you use a pattern or yarn from one of the people involved, you can enter twice. But I'll have all the information in the links below. Also, I will be opening up a finished objects thread pretty soon. Hopefully when I'm done moving, so at the end of September, around there. So, other administrative stuff is I am going to be having a 2,000 subscriber giveaway announced now. So I will be hosting this in my YouTube. No. I will be hosting this on YouTube, so in the comments down below, I might as well just do this now. So I have, I dyed myself up yarn for a rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and I ordered just enough yarn for myself, but I have a couple left over because you don't need as many as that. But it's a sport weight yarn, and I have, as a prize for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, I have one skein of wild lettuce, one skein of all-inclusive, and then one skein of shrimp cocktail. So this set is going to be the prize, and I might include a bag as well. I think I probably will. For 2,000 subscribers. So all you need to do to enter that is just comment down below in the comments. I have heard from other podcasters before that if you mention the word giveaway, it'll enter a lot of people that are just looking to be entered into a giveaway. So try to avoid the use of the word giveaway. Just leave a comment. You have to be subscribed, for obvious reasons, and I will draw the winner on the next podcast, which I think is fun. It's a different way to do it, which is fun for me. But yeah, so that will be the prize. It is a sport weight. I believe it's, I should have written down how many yards it is, but I will have that information next time. But yeah, set of 3. So enter to win that just in the comments down below. And also, I might as well do the prize drawing for the Make From Stash Along, the sort of mid-season, I don't know. It's very autumnal here right now. But I decided as a prize for that, I would be giving away this Goldilocks kit. It is a bag with a self-striping yarn and a coordinating mini. I hope there's not too much glare on that. So I went into my Ravelry thread and I picked a number between 2 and 856 with random number generator, and I got number 505, and that is Shauna Stitches, and the post she had for that is a pair of Patton's Croy socks, which for me speaks to my heart because I love Patton's Croy for socks. And this is Shauna, and she is from Oregon. So Shauna has been involved in my Ravelry stuff quite a bit. I recognize the name. So congratulations, Shauna. Can you please send me a Ravelry message with your address, and I will get that out to you as soon as possible. Before I move, for sure, because I don't want to move it all the way to Calgary to send it to you. And I think that might be everything administrative as far as I can recall. So, I forgot to get a drink of water in here. But to start off the making stuff, I have one finished object today. I didn't have it cast on last week, last week. It's been 3 weeks since I podcasted. Sorry about taking so long. Packing and life is just getting... Bleh. Hopefully after I move I can get a little bit more of a consistent system going on. But last podcast I didn't have this project cast on, but I wanted to make it as a way to use some of my own hand-dyed yarns, and also I wanted a few more summery tops, which seems sort of ridiculous because it has been chilly here since about mid-August. But I wanted to make something for myself that was a little bit more flowy, and I wanted more cropped sort of shirts because I wear a lot of flare dresses, fit and flare dresses, so I like to have knitted, like my Tenya is perfect for a lot of my dresses because it stops just at the right length. So what I decided to make, and I'm sure a lot of you have been making this as well, but I cast on the Maritimo, which I'm sure is the wrong pronunciation, but the Maritimo top by Caitlin Hunter of Boylan Knitworks. And I finished sewing in the ends yesterday. I haven't got a chance to block it yet, so it does look a little bit lumpy, but I finished it. Sorry. So here it is. And again, it needs to be blocked. All of the lace is a little bit lumpy, and the sleeves are curling up a little bit, but I really like it. I'm excited for it to be blocked to be a little bit more flowy. So I used my own hand-dyed yarn. The main color is my new colorway, Deep Sea Diver, which is a gorgeous foresty green. And I really love this. I've got a couple projects that I want to make out of this color. But then I used All Inclusive as the contrast color. So I only used one contrast color. I didn't really have anything that I wanted to add to just having that little strip between the lace portions. I just didn't really feel it. So I decided just to do the two, and I think it turned out really well. I know that Caitlin Hunter is a very loose knitter, and I believe in the pattern she knit at a 3.25 millimeter gauge as far as I can recall. I went up to a 3.5 only because I went up a size and I like more densely knit knits, and I know a lot of Caitlin Hunter's patterns are quite loose just because of the way she knits. So I just did my usual going up with hers, going up one needle size and then just going up a pattern size. But I think it works really well, and I think after it's blocked it's going to fit really nicely. It is currently covered in dog hair, but I'll sort that out with washing. It also smells a lot like smoke. I've been sitting at a lot of campfires while knitting this, so it's got like smoke in it. So I need to give it a good wash. but that should be easy enough. So yeah, that is the Maritimo by Caitlin Hunter. She has so many patterns that I want to knit still. I've knit the Tenya and the Zweig, but there's a lot more that I want to make as well. I don't have anything else finished. I've been kind of working on shop stuff and kind of just like trying to relax a little bit more when it comes to trying to finish things. So I do have quite a few works in progress though, because I am casting on everything. I'll give a quick update. I do have 2 pairs of socks on my needles, but I have barely worked on them. This is one of the ones that I forgot to bring with me on my last episode, but it is a basic sock, and I am knitting it out of Opal, and the colorway is... I always forget to find the colorway here. I think it's just a number. Anyway, I'll just show the label. That's the colorway, I think. And I'm knitting these for a friend of mine, and I sort of completely lost steam. I have a marker here that I got from Mama Bear Knits, I believe, Paula. I ordered a bunch of her stitch markers, and I forgot to bring them. They're in my car. It's too late now. But yeah, I have it marked off where I want to put in the heel, and I'm just knitting, and it was one of those things where I wasn't in the mood to knit socks. I wanted to knit sweaters. So you just do what you gotta. And then I have another pair of socks in here as well, and they're for the significant other of the person I'm making the other pair of socks for. The gentleman with massive feet, and I don't know if I've picked them up at all. I need to though. This is a perfect just sitting around project, and I really need to work on it. But it's got my nice little pinata llama on there that I got from Michael's. And this is the project that I'm keeping in my Blueberry Fields bag, which I love so much. I think after I move, I'm gonna have to buy some more. I got this as a gift, as an exchange for some yarn, and I adore it. It's so beautiful. So that is just a quick and dirty update because I've been slacking. I also have done barely any work. I've got... Okay, now that I'm looking it up, I have my Moss Bank sweater that I started before the last podcast, and I'm not even going to show you because I haven't worked on it at all. I was trying to finish the other top, so I mean, I do have that going for me. But I did put a couple inches work into my Anushka sweater, and I'll show you a picture of that. So, oh goodness, that's a terrible photo. There we go. I'm so coordinated today, aren't I? So, this is the Anushka sweater. I hope you can see that. And I've had this on the needles for a really long time, and I did sort of lose steam over it because of life events previous that have been discussed on this podcast. But I'm trying to get it done. I want to cast on a bunch of other projects as well, and I am trying to clear off my needles before I start anything else, hypothetically. But I've worked a little bit on the sleeve, not a whole lot. This is what it looks like. I'm knitting it out of Knit Picks palette, and this is in, I think, Finley Heather. Yes. Brass Heather is one, and then Finley Heather is the contrast color. And I really love Knit Picks palette a lot. It knits up so soft, and it's so woolly. Okay, soft for me. I should always say that. It's soft for me. But yeah, so it's got the color work, and then it's just got a basic body. And I'm having a hard time, I posted this on Instagram as well, I'm having a hard time getting enthusiastic about it because I don't even know if it's going to fit me. I've talked about on the podcast before how my shoulder to bust ratio doesn't quite match when it comes to top-down yoked pullovers. So, I mean, if it doesn't fit me, I have people that it will fit and it will look great, but I'm hoping that after I'm done, I can block it out. I was thinking of blocking it out before, but because I have the other sleeve stitches on other needles just to hold them, I might just wait until I'm done at least one sleeve before I block it, just to see if it's even going to work. But we'll find out. I'm not too fussed about that. I've given away a lot of sweaters in my time, or knit a lot of sweaters for other people. I'm kind of used to it. I cycle through my knitting. But that is being held in one of my own project bags. Just a simple floral canvas bottomed project bag, which I love. Oh, I have another project bag. But I finished my Maritimo, as I said, and I decided I needed a quick, easy project to work on just to get some instant gratification kind of stuff. So I cast on a hat. And this is the skiff hat, and this is a Brooklyn tweed pattern because that's how I roll, and I love it. Unfortunately, I don't think they have the pattern designer. It is so dry here, I'm having a hard time switching papers. Oh, Jared Flood. There we go. It's Jared Flood. He's the bomb.com. But anyway, it is a basic cabled pattern for a hat with a pom-pom, and it's got two different versions. It's got a beanie and they call it a watch cap, so it's the double folded brim. And I'm making the double folded. I'm making this for a coworker of mine because she was trying to find a hat with cables and a pom-pom that was a bit slouchy, and she couldn't find any, so I was looking on Ravelry and I showed her a picture of this and she said it looked great, so I decided this would be the perfect sort of in-between project for me. So I'm using a mystery skein of acrylic yarn that I had in my stash that I found when I was packing. It is a beautiful sort of, it looks very similar to the Finley Heather in the Knit Picks actually. It's got a bit of a beige grayish tone, so I thought it would be perfect for a neutral hat. And I'm just working on the brim. I cast this on yesterday, and I'm just working on the brim right now. It is a 6.5 inch brim. I will have to weigh my yarn to see if I have enough for the whole thing. I should, but I don't think it says you need more than 100 grams. Oh, you do for this one. Well, either I'll have to find another one, or I'm just going to have to make it in a way where I have enough yarn for it. Shorten the brim a little bit. But I cast on using a twisted German cast on because I wanted it to be stretchy enough. She doesn't like hats that are too tight around her forehead, so I've just went with the extra stretchy cast on. And yeah, right now I'm just doing 2x2 ribbing for 6.5 inches or however long my yarn will let me. And yeah, it's pretty basic. I think it's going to be really nice. I'm pretty excited for it, and it's nice to knit a hat. I really like knitting hats. Hats and mittens, I need to make some more for this winter. Especially mittens. I've made so many pairs of mittens in my life, and I don't have a single pair to my own name. So that's what I'm going to be working on this weekend probably. I've got a lot of sewing to do, and then this will be my in-between sort of chatty socializing knitting, I think. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The yarn is a bit tough, and because it's acrylic, it doesn't have the same sort of movement as a proper wool does, but I'm still enjoying knitting it quite a bit. So those, I think, are all my works in progress. Like I said, I want to cast on a bunch more. There's the Rose cardigan by Andrea Mallory that I want to cast on. And I did have an acquisition that, again, I'm so uncoordinated today. I decided to do this a bit last minute. But there was a book that I bought from the Knit Picks website called Dapper. It's a men's pattern book, and there is a pattern in there called the Rockland sweater that when I saw it, I needed it for myself. It is a men's pattern, but it looks so cozy. And I ordered the Merlot Heather Wool of the Andes to knit that in. And I think it's going to be super comfortable and perfect for fall and winter. And I also have the yarn picked out for a no frills sweater. I'm waiting on some mohair to go with it, but I have the rest of the yarn already caked up and ready to go. So I've got 3 patterns that I have ready to go, and a million more that are pretty much ready to go, so there's a lot for me to do. But yeah, that is all for works in progress. I have been kind of too busy to work on anything else, but I'm doing my best with that. So hopefully the rest of the move will go smoothly and we'll see how that all goes. But because I don't want to move my whole shop or whatever's left over, I will be having a moving sale in my Etsy store starting on Sunday, and that's going to be 25% off any purchase of 2 or more items. And that will go on for a couple days at least. I'll see how it goes. And then I will figure it out from there. So hopefully I can get rid of most of my stock so moving will be a little bit easier. And then once I move to Calgary, I'll be working on a big update, especially of self-striping. I know a lot of you have been asking for the Crazy Sock Lady colorway. I will have a ton of it. Don't you worry. I will be making, I'm thinking of doing at least 30 skeins. And I'll be having all my other colorways as well as Love You Not, Cummerbund, Nearly Nautical, and anything else that I'm not thinking about right now. So you can be sure to find those in my shop, hopefully by the end of September. And speaking of the end of September, I don't know if I mentioned this before, I was originally planning on going to the Perth Yarn Festival in Scotland, but since everything in my life kind of fell apart, if you're new to the podcast, my husband and I split up in June. Yes, in June. So we were planning on going to Scotland together, and then things changed. So I had planned on going by myself, but I realized it would have been too expensive and too stressful to go. So what I did instead is I canceled that flight, and I'm going to be going to Knit City in Vancouver. My cousin and I, who I'm going to be living with in Calgary, are going on a day trip to Vancouver from Calgary on the 29th. We'll be getting there early in the morning, and we'll be hanging out at the festival for a few hours at least, and then we'll be going for dinner with a friend. And, but yeah, if you're going to Knit City, I will be there on the 29th, which is the Saturday, I believe. So come say hi. That would be great. I want to have some mini skeins to give out to people who come say hi. So hopefully I can get some of those. But I'm really excited. I've never been to a yarn festival before, and I am really excited. And I just love the idea of a day trip. And like a flight from Calgary to Vancouver is only an hour, hour and a half. So it's essentially like, for me to visit my cousin now, it takes me over an hour to drive there, and there's no driving. So we're both pretty excited about it, but I hope you can say hi, and I hope I don't spend too much money on yarn, so I don't really have that to spare. But yes, if you see me, please come say hi. That would be amazing. I'm really excited. But yeah, what else? I'm going to be working really hard on doing a big update for the Yarn Festival in October. That's on the 20th, I want to say 20th, 21st? Oh, I can't remember. It's whatever Rhinebeck is. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. So I'll be working hard on that, and I hope my move goes well. I actually, when it comes to moving, I don't have a lot of sentimentality when it comes to objects, so moving for me is pretty easy. Like, getting rid of stuff is fairly easy for me. And we didn't really have that much furniture to begin with, so it's not too bad. But I'm going to be coming back to High Level next summer for the fire season again. If you're new to the podcast, I work for the seasonal wildfire department for the Alberta government. So I will be coming back in April probably, so it'll be moving back. So it's going to be another move. I've this move to Calgary now is my 29th time moving, so I've moved one time for every year I've been alive. But yeah, and when it comes to trips to Scotland, I am tentatively planning a trip to Scotland for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival in March. That would be my 30th birthday present to myself, I think, but it's still a tentative plan. It's nothing set in stone yet. But that's my maybe plans. But I have a lot of stuff to do today, a lot of work to do, and I'm hanging out with some friends later for dinner. So I will probably leave you there. I really hope I didn't miss talking about anything. But I will update the Etsy store with some last minute stragglers that I forgot to upload, and I will also be putting up the sale sometime tonight. So I hope you guys can check that out. and I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. Fall has come with abandon, and I'm really enjoying it. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!